Hi, so our team is called MyTale, and we are building a web application to help users make their own social stories. So you might be wondering, what are social stories? And social stories were originally developed by Carol Gray to help autistic children with interpersonal communication, self-care skills, and their ability to cope to stressful events. And social stories are currently used by parents, teachers, and therapists to help autistic individuals. So if social stories are so widely used, why do we need MyTale? Some of the reasons include that it's hard to find specific social stories tailored to your unique situation, and current social story creation websites are hard to use. Sometimes they're not free, and they also don't really support an interactive experience. So our goal with MyTale is to provide a simple, easy-to-use interface for users to explore, personalize, and create their own interactive social stories. And now hand it over to Lynn for a demo.
Okay, so let's say I was logged into my account already and I want to edit a story. I'll go to the search page first to see what there is. Let's say I'm a parent, I'm interested in getting dressed because I want to help explain to my child the importance of getting dressed in the morning. So I'll check that out. Okay, so it looks like it'll be useful for my purposes. From the comments, it also looks like other people thought it was useful, so I'll go to edit that story. And from what it seems, yeah, it seems like the text seems fine, but I think it's looking a little bare right now. I want to add more of a pop to the story, so I'm going to add some media to this story. I can upload an image, so I like this one, so I'll upload that. And let's say this is the front page. Let's say I want to put it on this page. I'll add it to this page. And let's say I also want to add some audio. I can upload audio. So, and I'll add it to the first page. So we'll add it here. And I can save that story right now. We'll go to my profile. You can see that the story is saved in my story drafts, but let's also say that I want to add my own details to some of the variables. So right now, my story variables are child name, favorite activity, my name, and my role. Let's say my child's name is Tommy, so we'll write that. Tommy likes playing sports. My name is John, and I am a dad. So I'll save all these variables, and I'll go back to this. Whoops, sorry, not that. We'll edit the story. Let's say right now I can toggle the variables I just edited. So let's say I'm dad. Tommy likes playing sports. We'll make this cooking. Dancing's good. And we'll say going to party. That works too. So if we go through the story, we'll see that all these variables have been updated. And let's say I'm satisfied with what the story looks like right now. Let's say I edited a bunch and now it's pretty different from the original. I can publish this story to our database. So we'll go to publish story. We'll name it Getting Dressed Part 2. And helping my child understand the importance of getting dressed in the morning. And I can choose the tags that I think would fit this. So right now there aren't that many, but let's say manners seems pretty close, so we'll pick that one. And I can submit this. And if I go back to the search page, I can see my story here. That's really nice. let's just go there and see what it looks like. If I don't like it anymore, I could delete it, but let's say I just want to go there as a different user. So basically it looks, it shows the edits I've put, but right now, like if other users actually want to look at this, they can upload their own images and audio in place of my own. So that kind of allows a little more flexibility for the user. And that's mostly it for the editor and the demo, and I'll pass it on to David for the front end design.
Yes, so in terms of the front-end design, apart from the standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we also use Vue.js as our front-end framework. And on top of that, we use Vuetify, which offers modern and reusable components, which allows us to like style our website conveniently. And we've also implemented the user accounts function. So after you create your account, you'll be able to see your stories, story drafts, and your comments together with your story variables in your profile page. And you can easily go to your stories, edit your drafts, your comments, and add more variables in your profile page as well.
Yeah, so regarding search, there's a bunch of features that you can use to better your experience. So for example, at the top, you can toggle whatever occupation you may have, like a therapist or teacher, or even like a parent, to filter the stories to meet your needs. And then there's also in the stories, you can see the information such as views and the date that it was created, also tags, and you can also click to view or edit the story. You can also sort the stories by maybe popularity, or also like by how new the stories are. And then to the left, you can also filter by tags. And then regarding the story pages themselves, if you click on the story, you can go to the story page and you can see like more in-depth information, such as the synopsis or even like comments that other users have added. You can even add a comment yourself if you're logged in. And there's also like buttons such as view and browser edit story that were also in the search page. But if the story is yours, you can also delete it. And then regarding the technologies that we use for the search page, we mainly use Typesense, which is a search engine / server. So it's used as a search engine to look through all the stories that we have, and all the stories that we have are indexed inside of the Typesense server, and all the stories have their information, such as like views or like creator, inside of the Typesense server as well. And these stories are displayed in the search page. And then also another technology that we used is Firebase. And we used Firebase for a bunch of things, such as the accounts, the comments, and drafts for the stories, such as the drafts that you saved when you're editing, and also publishing the stories. But we use Firebase as a backup to the Typesense server. And now I'll hand it over to Batsal.
So in terms of the story editor, as Lynn demonstrated earlier, the story editor is a tool built from ground up that allows users to create and edit their own social stories. Essentially, the editor is used to build story templates, which the user can publish for other users to edit. Story templates are essentially stories without their corresponding variables filled in. The editor offers many different features, all packaged into two big areas, the sidebar and the page layout. Starting with the sidebar, there are 4 options. Text, which has all the text variables of the story, for example, my name or my city. Media, which contains all the media variables in the story, for example, a picture of my playground or my school. Themes, which allows the user to customize the background and text color of each individual page, and furthermore, allows the user to create and apply their own themes. And passages, which allows the user to relink and reorganize the order in which the individual pages in their story are displayed. In the page layout, you can see the properties of each individual page of the story, as in the images or audio on that page, the theme of the page, and the text contained within the page. We have also created an intuitive way for users to traverse along the pages of their story, which allows them to create non-linear stories as well. Finally, in the top left corner, we see the overall story properties, such as the name of the story, the options to upload a new story. Users with accounts can even download, save, and publish new stories to our database. And finally, in going into the more technical aspects of our story editor backend, we utilize three main tools. XTWE allowed us to easily translate the stories generated by users into a Twine format using JavaScript. Twine is an engine which we utilize to compile and generate the final versions of our stories. It allowed us to focus more on the front end features of the editor itself. Next, TipTap was the center of our page layout. It is the rich text editor which allows the user to edit the contents of the story directly from our editor. It includes functionality for bolding, italicizing, and more. TipTap converts the user edited text into HTML, allowing for easier story generation and viewing. Finally, we use Firebase to store our files and save stories according to profile. We realized that when the user uploaded files and saved their story, they would expect on story reload that their files would still be there. Firebase helps us integrate that feature so that on uploading a file, it is saved to our database. And now Grace can talk about the future goals regarding our project.
In terms of future development, one of our next steps is to allow therapists to access our site, and then we plan on receiving their feedback and integrating that with what we currently have. Also, in terms of the story editor, we're planning on developing a way for the user to view a general outline of the story and allow them to download stories in a file format that actually can be printed. And also, generally, we would like to increase the efficiency of our website. Thank you for listening.